So I've been doing so much of these. I'm like, ugh, I'm so tired of saying my intro. But anyways, I hope everybody is doing blessed. This video is going to be about Twin Flame 101, Heyokas, moving through silence at all costs. Supporters can turn quickly into surveillance within a blink of an eye. Everybody is not who they say to be. There's a lot of people on YouTube platform is talking about, people going through a lot of spiritual warfare. There's a lot of people that are taking notes and watching you. I go through that a lot, since I'm very selective person. People try to find ways to do different things to keep you away from whatever you want to go through. And the devil picks those a lot. You're dealing with a lot of people that are dressed up a wolf in sheep's clothing. So they're telling you can't just sit up here and take everybody's word for the different things that's going on in your life, when you know that your whatever universe has directed you towards, whatever God has assigned you to, your purpose is going to impact a lot of people in a positive way. And the devil don't want that. There's a lot of different things that he would do. He knows your weaknesses. He knows your strengths. He knows your potential. He knows how far you can really go there if you allow yourself to apply yourself. So he will, do some mastermind and manipulation to do everything to make it look like God is lying to you. The things that God has promised you that is not coming. So they want you to be, he want to be able to cause God's bluffs, and, it always end up going in God's favor anyway. He always tells us you're protected, but there's a lot of things, you can get very aggravated about. It's just like, why do I have to keep going through these things? And you sound protected, and it's like you are protected, but there's a lot of different things from the people that you can interact with, or different things that's taking place. You have to be able to go through stuff like that, so when it comes again, you already know what to look for. And there'll be days where it can really be annoying. It's just like there's a lot of times when I see people, I'm just like, I didn't really care for high school. Why do I feel like I'm back in high school again? People are just watching and doing creeper vibe stuff. I've seen people do, especially these trolls on the internet, where they want to go all the way out their way to try to discourage you in any way possible, because they see what you can do. They see your potential, and they want to be able to discourage that any way possible. A lot of people, you can even see it. There's a lot of times when I tell people, hey, you have to start decluttering everything. That means not just your mind, your mindset, the way you do things, the way you change that in your house, as well as on your social media platforms. Not everybody is there to be your friend. You can sit up here and put a lot of different things on there. People will see certain things, won't drop comments, don't say nothing, don't even interact with you. But as soon as you take them off, a 24-hour period can't go around, and they're already sending one. It's like, dang, I thought you passed away or something like that, and you were there. Or they'll send you a message like, hey, why did you delete me? I'm like, hey, you weren't being active on my stuff. You were just watching. And a lot of times you have to understand. I see a lot of posts. When I thought about this, maybe remind me of that post when I see a lot of times friend requests is not friend requests. It's it's surveillance cameras. People are moving, and cloaking and stuff, trying to sit up here and see where they can get in, where they can destroy anything possible, so they won't see the potential, won't allow your potential to be seen by the right people. And those are the things you have to be, very selective for. I had to learn the hard way. There's a lot of different times people, I'm just like, why, people be, it'll be dummy accounts and stuff like that. It's just like with me, like, Roslynn, you're a YouTuber, you probably got, you probably got like 7 people on your, your on this platform or on that platform. And I said, I'm okay with that. A lot of people don't need a lot of stuff like that in their life. And it's just like, I can at least see that I do a lot of clearing, because if I start seeing I don't interact with you, you don't interact with me, it'll be different things that you can even push up. Like if you show one on you can share one picture on one social media platform, you probably get about 10 likes or something. Oh, that looks nice, or oh, that's beautiful, whatever. But if you put it on like like one of those reels on Instagram and stuff like that, all of a sudden you got 300 or 400 likes. Yeah, they see it, but that don't mean they like you. They're just watching, they're just trying to see what you got going on in your life. And you probably take notice of that. There'll be different things, and they'll tell people, whatever shifts is going on right now. They're telling you be very selective about the people you choose to entertain. Be very selective about what you talk to others about. I don't know what the heck got going on up in the universe. The universe is like it's on a need to know basis, and you just don't need to know yet. But it's just the fact is there a big shift going on, and devil want to make sure he got all his daggone minions caught up in a row, and and not realizing people doing his dirty deeds and end up him in their own selves up. And they just tell you, you got to be very stern about what you choose to talk about, because nowadays it's like enemies and foes running the lines of friends and family. And at times it's like people like Roslynn, I had my family hit me up, everything was good and dandy when I was struggling. I wasn't living in the right area. I had, didn't have the best furniture. Oh, they had front row seats to your suffering. They had front row seats to your shortcoming. And that was you were the butt of the joke. But then when you start moving up and you start, doing different things, now all of a sudden they start blocking your number. You probably go text them, and then now you see, oh, this person can't be reached anymore. And those are the reasons for that. Or there'll be a lot of people that will get in together. They didn't even have to like each other, but it's just they had this little club talking about, hey, Roslynn crew, hey, I don't like you, you don't like me, but we hate both the same person. Let's be friends. There's people are like that. And it's just like, well, I know even my kids just told me, Mom, you changed a lot. You don't have any friends that come over. I don't interact with just everybody anymore. I used to be that type of person where I felt like my life didn't mean something unless I had a quantity of people in my life, not the quality, but the quantity in my life. And now it's just like, there's a lot of people that, I just we don't have the same, we don't have the same interest. And it's not the fact that I look down at them or I look at them in a different way. It's just the fact is my views are different. I'm not judging nobody for doing that. But if I don't mesh with that, I just don't mess with you like that. But I wish you well, or it'll be different people that I've helped. And then all of a sudden, y'all see that you're doing this and this and this and that. And I'm like, when I was trying to interact with you, you made sure you just ignored the heck out of me, but I'm seeing you on everything else and then stuff like that. And I said, you didn't even get me as the enemy, but you showed me where your truth is. So I show where my truth is, and mine is out the door. Mine is a different direction. And that's what universe wants you to get to know. It don't matter if it's family. It don't matter how long somebody's been in your life. It's about how you're being treated. Everything is fun and dandy. I mean, I used to go through different things in my life where I always wondered why I'd worked so hard just to get noticed from, family that, supposed to be the ones that cheered you on and, supposed to be that one to, support you in those type of ways. And I didn't get that. Other people got it, but I just didn't get it. But now it's at that point where I had to just digest that and just keep it moving. A lot of times you have to be your own supporter. You have to be your own cheerleader that's going to do that. Universe will change different directions on you and you may feel alone. And yes, it can be very lonely when you're on your path. A lot of times you will be by yourself. It's different between you feel lonely, but you're never alone. You have people that are protecting you. There's different energies and entities. And people that are assigned to you to make sure you're going a different way. Or there are different people that you may have achieved something or overcome something, and they're going to need your life experience for them to be that cheat sheet. Like, how were you able to get through different things like that? Or, it could be just on that path where you needed to interact with somebody to where you're trying to aim towards certain things and they already got there and they're telling you how they did it, and those are things you have to really appreciate. Like, there's so many different people, people like, Roslynn, you see yourself as a student or a teacher. I see myself as both. You're supposed to be open about it. There's a lot of different things universe will guide you with where you need to project towards other people on the power of that growth that's taking place to help others, and then there's a lot of times your experiences, it guides you to see things in a different way. And at times it's hard to do that until you get on that road of really discovering yourself on many levels and vibes. You're unfolding. There's a lot of different times where, I've said before, so I'm like, you don't even know who you are and you get offended by that. I was like, I'm me. I'm with me every day. So how you know it? And the scariest thing is you really truly don't, until it took something to really impact your life for you to really see that you aren't who you are. I mean, there's a lot of people that I didn't even know me until I've changed a lot of different things. Because it's like if I would have went like 6-7 years back and you would have told me what I'd be doing today, I probably would have laughed at you. You know, and there were people like, Roslynn, you become a Mormon. You know, it's like you're a celibate. You don't drink, you don't smoke, smoke marijuana or anything like that. I'm like, no, it's just I just don't need to do that. Stimulate my mind by, telling me different things that's going on in the world today that can really apply change to it. Not about what Bobby and them is doing down the street and who got into a fight today. That just ain't my business. I mean, hey, I wish them well and going about this, but if it's not stimulating me in that kind of way, I'm just, I'm going towards what spikes my interest up. It's just like different things that I love to share with people. If I see affirmations and stuff like this to really uplift you, I like to be able to share that. Like I tell people, I use like different Instagram reels, and it's not, to take credit for somebody else's work, but if I see that, how it impacted me in a positive way, and I see how it made me look at different things, different things in a different way. That's what I meant to say. That can uplift me or just put a smile on my face. I want to be able to give that to somebody else, because you never know what kind of day somebody is having, or they may need that answer that gave you an inspiration to be able to share that. And I tell people, hey, when you see that, when you see their little tag things where they keep their account at, go follow them, because they have some really dope videos. And and there's a lot of different people that do videos. I'm like, wow, that's good. And I like to be able to share those things. I like to be able to listen to myself, and it give me a good uplift. So I want to be able to share that with other people as well. And it has brought a lot of people towards me that I can interact with. And it's just like, just like when I had my chat last time, it's like, hey, you really spitting some good stuff that I need to hear. You should be, more active with different people. And it's just like a lot of times when you become transparent in transformation, you don't have a lot of people around you at that time. I'm not saying it won't happen like, next few days, next month, next year, whatever, but that's that time. Like I tell people, there's some people on these different social media sites that, that are influencer. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but there's some people that pay for people to be on their, on their team like that, or pay for them to bring some subscribers into like that. And it's like, I don't place no judgment. You got to do what you do. But in my opinion, I'd rather earn mine. I'd rather work hard for mine and not say I had to pay somebody to be around me to do that, because it's like you're, somebody who wants to see you grow. I've heard that before. They're not going to be people on your payroll. You're paying. These are one of the people that are not getting any kind of access to something for them to be able to let you see something that can impact your life in a positive way. And the ones that actually want to see you grow, and there's times where, I see my situation that I'm in, and I see how, people would, they would intentionally send me in the opposite direction because they seen something in me that I really had drive for. They see certain things that I always wanted to do. And, it was just like around people I loved and I, respected. And it just seemed like I always had to fight, for you to actually notice me. It was other people that would be noticed and in the immediate family, but it was me. I always had to fight for that. And it got to that point where universal distance you from different people at times, even though it may hurt. But a lot of times they show you this like, hey, this is for your greater good. And it can be very hurtful. I was like, when I started mine, I was a nervous wreck. I went through a lot and I was going through too much at one time, at that time. And, I'm still going through a lot, but it's been with me for so long that it's become natural for me. So it was just like, if I got to do all this and this and that for you to take notice of me, I shouldn't be really dealing with folks like that. It is what it is, And then when I started seeing things, when you start going through that emotional and mental and spiritual cleansing, you'll start seeing a lot of different things where people have coping mechanisms. I was around a lot of people within my family, and not saying, my whole family, but I don't talk to any of my family unless they like passed on or whatever, or, yeah, basically that's it. I don't really talk to anybody, and it's just people are like, Roslynn, how do you do it? I said, well, it came a time in my life where there was so many different things that was going on. I had to see, are you there to see what you can benefit off of? Are you there because you may feel like if there's a swift change in my life, you want to say, hey, I was there for you. Can I get a handout or do this and this and that? So I just kept to myself. If somebody can, pull the wool over your eyes and convince you to, think a certain way about me or say something without you getting both sides of the story, they already made me, my quick decision is like, okay, so you're out my life, so when things change, people are like, you changed. I said, nah. I said my mindset has, and it had to be for better, and it was a lot of times I can sit here and it was with a heavy heart that I didn't have regards for my own self. And I didn't have that worth in my own self. I was willing to stay in connection with different people, even when it was going against me, even when I know these people didn't have my best interest at heart. So I had to allow myself to know sometimes you need to be alone until you find people that are on that same path as you, that got that same mindset, where they're actually, inspired by you they inspire you, and you inspire them. And those are the type of people I want to stay in connections with. Some people you got to keep at a distance. I tell people sometimes you need to be seen but out of reach. Not everybody needs to have access to you. A lot of times, if they're doing it, not everybody got a best interest at heart with you. So these are those things they're telling you. You really have to be able to, move in different ways without everybody knowing what you're doing, or letting things take place to where you're not advertising everything that you're doing, because it's just like people come together and try to see how they're going to take you down and don't believe it. It's not happening. God got people assigned to you, and different angels and different archangels, and your family done passed over. Everybody's protecting you. So you have to understand everything has to have a balance to it. So if universe and them all, your enemies is not going to be able to conquer you. And they tell you that all the time. You're going to have to experience a lot of things so you know what the heck you're dealing with. So in case this happens again, because you can forgive something and just, put it in that mental, file cabinet. And then something pops up again. And it takes you back to a situation with a relationship or connection with somebody that's no longer in your life, that was very either toxic, very negative, or it was gonna, it was detrimental to you. You already know before, even for it to really truly begin, you already done cut it off. When you start telling people, hey, there are certain things I won't tolerate in my life, you put boundaries up. Anybody that gets upset about your boundaries they're already trying to walk into your life, trying to see what they can manipulate, and those are the things that happen. There's people, they'll respect that and lets me know, okay, so if they're there, they have their own boundaries, I can respect that too, because if you know that you don't have any evil intent towards that person trying to be a mastermind over their mind, you don't have to worry about people trying to step up to the plate to manipulate you. But other people that take offense of that, or they disrespect or disregard, those boundaries, they let you know. They don't like it when you do that, because that takes away the benefit that they can have over you. So you have to be, very, very, very selective about different things that's going on into your life, and don't be so forthcoming to everybody. I've seen how I've gone through different things. I've seen how people, I was just like, Dag, is it that serious? Like, heck yeah, that's that serious. You already know what, what your situation can cause a lot of damage to a lot of people that don't want you out. They want you a liability. And you see what things go on in the world when you're a liability. Next, that person, decided to take their life in a short way. These different things be popping off. I'm not saying they didn't happen, but I can say, they use that a lot. When you're a liability, you're a loose end that they really need to get rid of you. They will do any and everything, to get rid of you on that. There will be, like I said before, there'll be people that don't like the people that they're, that they sit up here in the same vibration is not liking you, and be all in the same gang and trying to see an enemy of an enemy becomes a good friend of theirs. You have to understand that. And you have to be able to keep your eyes peeled, and it's just like people that you grew up with, they can shift real quick. You know, I've seen that. There's people I grew up with and I'm no longer, you know, talking to them. And all of a sudden, you know, I open up a new social media account. If I don't block you out, why are you trying to come through again? If I wanted to talk to you, I would introduce. I'm like, hey, how you doing? But don't come back in my life after I took you out. Not twice, 2 or 3 times, and you still trying to come back. Because, you know, that might end up getting you embarrassed. So I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, because I sure the heck ain't doing that. I don't try to fight being nobody's life like that. But these are those times, you know, times are hard right now. And, you know, and it's, I don't know what shift that God got taking place that's about to enter this world, because you see different things that's going on right now. You really do. And those are the things that they, you know, they tell, keep watch. You ain't got to announce everything, but you make sure that your eyes is peeled up and seeing a lot of things. It's very better for you to not absorb, but observe the different things that's taking place. You take note when the different folks are around you. Take note on, you know, it's just like, even when you do something, you can let a leak out. And it could be something that, you know, they always say you can test the waters by, there'll be certain things that is not going on in your life. It's such a big deal. It's already out there. But you can say something just to see if it's going to come back to you. And a lot of times that lets you know. You can put stuff out there, and if it comes to you, you already know who said it. Remember exactly what you said to the exact person. And if it comes back in different ways, you know exactly what happened. You know, a lot of times they tell you to do that, you know, because it's just like people will act like they're, you know, they want to be friends, or want to act like, you know, they're you know, they want to be, oh, I want to be back in your life. You know, I missed you and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want that. You know, you can miss people all the time. But, you know, if universe and God done took them folks out your life, there's a reason behind that. Don't go back and try to find out what that reason is for. That was for your own protection. And half of the time when they sit up here and tell you to block somebody out your life, it ain't for your protection, but it's for theirs. Because it's like they end up messing with you, and they're going to end up messing their whole life up just because they were taking an interest on trying to destroy you. So they're telling you, be very selective about, you know, keeping people in your life. If you got social media sites where all these people in here and they're not really interacting with you, pretty much sure they trying to watch every move you make. And they plotting. So those are the ones you got to keep, you know, keep a watchful eye for. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of the video. Y'all, I was going to do a chat, but, you know, universe, hey, you know, things happen for a reason, because the signal was just acting up. So I was just like, oh, that's for a reason. So I'm going to let it be what it be. So I would love to give a post notification shout out to Tina Joseph. Much love to you. Thanks and welcome to the fam. Sketch Loco, welcome. Thanks to the fam. Nick. Nick Alonzo, welcome to the fam. And Delaney Grange, welcome to the fam as well. You know, if you're new to the family, you know, so good to have you. You know, make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop a line. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me. I always leave my contact information in the description box below. And it's all about spiritual networking, you know, to help others out as well. It's just if you got anything that you may want to share with me that was experiencing a spiritual path, or you want my insight on, or just my views of it, I try my best to be able to help others. If it's not from my experience, you know, it's just from the information, you know, the folks that be up there, you know, give me to share with you, to give you a deeper purpose on that. So, you know, I hope you have a blessed, safe weekend. Please be responsible at every single thing that you do. And whatever you're working on in your manifestations, I hope it comes so much bigger and better than you ever anticipated, and it comes sooner than you ever expected. And even through, you know, social distancing, make sure you still give love, light, positivity, words, vibes, frequencies. You never know. All those things really take somebody a long way. And you'll see me on my next video. Much love to you. Peace.